Hello, I'm Ruth Bonetti, and I'm together with Kathy Williams-Devries, and we're catching up on various topics. And she introduced me to the Fat Boy barrel. I actually started recording something on my own barrel, and I went, oh no, I want to change back. So you will get it back, I promise.
Okay. So what are we talking about today?
Oh, I'm on the topic of squeaks because they fascinate me. I know that all clarinetists, and come on, fess up, some of us have squeaked at some stage or other. Now, when we are beginners, that's fine. And I say to my students, that's just a top note that you're going to play later, maybe next year.
Because I studied physics at high school,
Yeah.
and I learnt about the harmonics system. And generally you have a fundamental tone and then it overblows at the octave and then the fifth and then the fourth. But the clarinet is different to all the other instruments because instead of being a conical bore, as in cone, it's actually a cylindrical bore, meaning that it's exactly the same width at the top as it is at the bottom. And because the clarinet is unique in this, instead of playing all the overtones, it only plays every second overtone. So we don't actually overblow at the octave like every other instrument. When we whack on the register key, it actually comes out a 12th higher, so the octave and the fifth. So if you play a low E, and you physically cannot get a low E to overblow to a throat E, and that's completely unique to the clarinet. So can you tell us of a very well-remembered incident of a squeak that we were both at that particular concert?
You're wise to who it was, but we won't divulge.
No, but they came, they're a principal clarinet player in a London orchestra.
Yes. And playing the Mozart concerto so well that you could feel waves of or hate. But then he redeemed himself. He actually, surprise, surprise, squeaked. I made that up. No, but we heard him and the whole collective clarinet community went, oh, he's human. And we forgave him. So I think that might have been where I evolved my favourite phrase when I send students out before a performance of some sort, an exam or a competition. And I'll say, play beautifully, enjoy yourself, and if you squeak, make it a good one. Which I still do. But I actually have to fess up to. I was playing Mendelssohn duo with a lovely Sean Davis, and I had students in the audience, and I so did not want to squeak. Now normally backstage I do the buzz, and that usually gets rid of squeaks. Even when I'm examining, sometimes if a student squeaks, persistently, I don't want to draw attention to it for a few, but if they do lots of squeaking, I say, oh, I bet you didn't squeak back home, did you? No.
And I believe we have video evidence of such a squeak?
Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah. And so I get them to blow a raspberry, and then I say, oh, look, now you can say you blew a raspberry at the examiner, and they laugh, and that's the other one to get rid of squeaks. But anyway, I really was so determined to not squeak, and I had so many reeds in my reed guard, I'd done all the right things. And then afterwards, I think it was in the third movement, there was a squeak. And I just felt, oh no, I did not want to squeak. And for the week or two after, I beat up on myself. Don't we all do that? It's a bad habit.
Yes.
Oh dear. And I magnified that squeak way out of proportion until I heard the video and went, oh, That wasn't so big, that was only a little squeak. What am I beating up on myself for? And it just proves that we're human.
So what causes a squeak? What sort, are you a certain mouth position? Are your fingers not covering all the holes? You're blowing too hard? Is your jaw clenched a little bit too tight?
In that case, it would have been tension, biting on the reed, and here we have a few possibilities. It probably was that I was biting on the reed, and I'd still, by the third movement, I developed more pressure again. But with little students, younger students, I have my squeaks page in Enjoy Playing the Clarinet, where I show them, if you squeak, you're normal, and here's why. The first one is most of them do not cover their holes properly. And so we'll get, and they think they've covered, and they haven't. And even a little bit off the holes can make a big difference. And the same one, the middle finger here. When you want to squeak, you can't bother. Well,
There you go.
And it's usually those, I think people think that this is higher, but I say D for down under, down lower than you think. And the other one is that if little fingers sit on side keys because they think they're making it easy for themselves, and then they have, that's a classic, the side key. And then this one, I call these minefields, asking for trouble. And then, yes, are your cheeks puffed? Maybe. And the other one is, have you got too much mouthpiece on in the mouth? And then finally, if all else fails, blame the reed.